Creating lower third supers is something that every newscast has been doing for the last number of years, and that's what we're going to learn how to do right now. So let's go ahead and open up in this case, so we're going to open up CS4 and start on it. What I've done on each of the computers in the edit suites is create a couple of shortcuts just to make the job a little bit easier. And in this particular example, I've created a project already that has a reporter. It happens to be a still frame of a reporter that doesn't move, but for our purposes, it'll work just fine. So we have a reporter. We want a lower third super with his name key here, and we're going to call him Gary Reporter. I wonder where we got that name. So the first thing we want to do is we want to open up the new title window, and there is a shortcut for that, and it is holding down the Alt button right by your left thumb or left hand. Hold the Alt button down and hit S for Super. And what's going to happen is we're going to open up a new title window. Now, what you can see here is there's the title design presets that come with Premiere. We're just going to roll those up. They may both be rolled up. It may look like this when you first open it up, but we want to pull down the user templates. And what I've done is I've created a couple of templates. One is an MOS, man on the street. And if you notice here, we've got a place for a name, and we've got a place for the title of that person. That might just be, citizen. Who knows? And we also have a reporter title, which is you, or whoever you are editing for. So for this example, we're going to use the reporter title. And before we click on OK, we're going to come over here. And this is just a good idea to do. It's not necessary. Otherwise, it's going to be called Title 2. But we're going to call it Gary Reporter. P-O-R-T-E-R. Okay, so with that in mind, we're going to click OK. And of course, then it opens up the actual title window. If you look up here, the title is called Gary Reporter, but we haven't changed it down here on the super itself. So we're going to at this point name this guy Gary Reporter. VCU Insight, that stays the same. So it's been very, very simple to create this, this lower third super. We've typed in one name. If we can spell it correctly, we've got it made. Now all we have to do, we don't have to save it. At this point, you can see that it's already over here in the bin. When we close it up, it's already been created. So at that point, it's just a matter of grabbing it and dragging it down onto the timeline. So let's just zoom in here and let's see what's going on down here. So we've got it set for a default of 5 seconds, and if you want to see that, we come over here to the info window. Start time right now is at 0 seconds. It ends at 4 seconds and 29 frames for a total length of 5 seconds, or approximately. So would we want it to start right at the very beginning? Well, usually not. What we're going to do is, and let's just zoom in here a little bit more, is we're just going to hit the play button. We'll go to the beginning of the clip, and we'll hit the play button, and between a half second and a second. So I'm going to hit play, 1/1000. Okay, so about there, pull it up, and this is about where it's going to start at. Well, at this point, let's take a look at what happens. The reporter's talking, and it pops in. So this popping in, this is not really what we want to do. So we want to be able to dissolve this in. What we've done is we've created a preset, and what we would like everyone to do is have a 10 frame dissolve in and a 10 frame dissolve out. And I've set that up as a default dissolve rate. And we can do that by going to the beginning of the clip and holding the control button down, usually with our pinky finger, and then hitting D for default. And of course it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Well, it doesn't work because we don't have this video 2 highlighted. One of the enhancements here in CS4 is that you can decide on what video line you want to affect. So if we don't want to affect video 1 at all, we can turn it off, or we usually just leave it on and then turn 2 on also. At this point, we'll hit the control and the D for default, and now we have our predefined 5 frame dissolve. Okay, or excuse me, 10 frame dissolve. And if you look there on that window that we just saw, if I can get it to come up again, there it is, from 1 second to 1 second and 10 frames. So basically, there we go. Now, how do we get to the end of it? Well, we can take and we can shuttle down to the end of it if we want and try to get close to the end, or we can just hit page down. And since this has been highlighted, we affect this line with any commands that we do, and we go exactly to the end of that clip. And again, what's that default transition? Control D for default. And with that in mind, we notice here at the end we dissolve in, we dissolve out, and at the beginning we dissolve in. So let's just take a look at what we've done here. And in 3, 2, 1, the reporter is talking, and now his super comes up as he is talking, and the super goes away. 5 seconds. Absolutely beautiful, and it happens exactly the same for all of us. Now, sometimes, occasionally, we don't have a we're not on camera for 5 seconds, so I'm just going to get rid of the rest of this clip and clear that away. And of course, we can't leave the clip up and dissolve it out after we're there, so what we're going to have to do is shorten it a little bit. So we can't go any further than what we are, but here's what happens now is we go to the end and it dissolves out, boom, and we've gone into the next clip. Not good style. So what we're going to do, if we're shorter than this 5 seconds, is we're just going to take and not use this dissolve, and I'm going to get rid of it now just by right clicking and hitting clear. So now what happens is 1 second in, we go to the dissolve where our name super is up, and right as we go to the next clip, it cuts out at the same time. Boom, cuts out. All right, by the way, this dissolve in, across dissolve, is only used for supers, where at this point in your career you're not allowed to use these dissolves in between your shots in the news story. Typical news story has no dissolves in it except for the supers. So that's it. You've now created your first super.